football, where the Senegalese national team has been sanctioned by FIFA for incidents that occurred during the second leg of the World Cup 2022 qualifying playoff between Senegal and Egypt in Dakar. That took place on the 29th of March. The sanction comes with a fine of 170,866 euros, FIFA said in a statement on Monday. The Algerian Federation will also have to pay a fine of 2,929 euros for lightning smoke and throwing objects during the Algeria Cameroon playoff in Bleda. And don't forget, the Nigerian Football Federation will also sanction 63 million naira concerning the crowd violence that took place after that game between Nigeria and Ghana at the MQ Abiola Stadium in Abuja. You see, I know that football can make our fans to be very emotional, especially when you expect your team to win the game and they disappoint on the night. But you should understand that in any sport at all, you win some, you lose some. So when you lose, it's just a challenge for you to go back to the drawing board, probably do something different, because you can't expect to be doing the same thing over and over again and you think you're going to get a different result. It doesn't work like that. You can't sow cassava and expect to reap barley, or probably expect to reap cocoa. It doesn't work like that. Whatever you sow, you reap. And this is one thing I've been talking about for a very long time. But you see, when you talk about some of these issues, some people will just feel like, oh, you're just, blowing the lead off for no reason. But there's no smoke without fire. You can't expect to set up a team that wants to qualify for the World Cup with not even one home-based player. Are they telling us there is no home-based player in that, in the national Nigerian league that can be part of that squad? Or probably there is no African-based player? Because excuse me, Zimo, because I know that there are so many Nigerian players playing all over Africa, in Al Ahly, in Entente Sentif, in some other clubs in Sudan. And all these guys are playing for these clubs regularly. They are playing regular football. Now, when you go to a Watford and bring a Truss Ekong, who has been warming the bench since January, to come and start a crucial game like that, obviously he's match rusty. So what do you expect from him? And you are going up against a Ghanaian side that, hey, they don't mind bringing their player even from the second division in as much as the player is active. That's my take on this, man.
That's true. I think it's a disgrace, at this level, at this age, crowd violence in football. It happens everywhere, to be honest with you.
No doubt.
Ladi.
No doubt.
We saw it at the Wembley Stadium. Maybe not to this extent, but I think it's a disgrace, especially in Africa. Look at the World Cup qualifiers. We've just mentioned 3 venues now: Nigeria, Senegal, and Algeria. So we have all this crowd violence simply because they couldn't qualify. But I don't think that's the solution or that's the answer to this type of thing. We need more education, maybe from the top. The fans need to be educated, and there should be more security. If there are more security there, this wouldn't have happened. It could, but not to this extent. Like running after the players, chasing them into the dressing room and things like that. It's not a good optic for world football. No wonder we got sanctioned.
Talking about crowd violence, I think some incidents also took place in Mexico some couple of weeks, a month ago, like a month or 2 months ago. And for me, that is still the most violent when you talk about crowd football. I'm still talking crowd football. I know that in South America, especially Brazil, Argentina, no, the crowd violence out there is just outrageous. I think world governing body and
one of the qualifiers will be played in somewhere in either Europe or Australia because of the violence.
Yeah, and right now, part of the sanction that has been given onto Nigeria, I think they are going to play their next game behind closed doors or something. So there'll be no fans in the stadium to cheer the boys. So, and that should be during the 2023 Nations Cup qualifier, because that will be the next Grade A game that the Super Eagles will prosecute. Talking about qualification for the 2023 Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire. Now, still talking football, the draw for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup Costa Rica 2022 will take place on Thursday at the Teatro Nacional in San Jose. The event will be hosted by athlete and TV presenter Joanna Solano. The draw will feature 2 stars of Costa Rican football, Shirley Cruz and Paulo Cesar Wancho, as a draw assistants. while Jamie Yaza, FIFA's director of tournament, will conduct the draw. The 16 participating teams have been allocated to 4 pots of 4 teams each, based on a ranking created according to past sporting performance. With qualification roundup now complete, the lineup for the tournament is as follows. Australia, we have Australia participating. We have Brazil, we have Canada, we have Colombia, we have France, Germany, who has always been there. They've been there ever since the inception of this championship, alongside 3 other countries, Nigeria inclusive. We have Ghana, that's the second African representative, Japan, Korea Republic, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Nigeria, Spain, USA, and host Costa Rica. The FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup will take place in Costa Rica from the 10th to the 28th of August 2022. Now, I think our girls have gotten to the final before talking about the Flamingos. They've gotten to the final, talking about the Under 20 team. They've gotten to the final
Of the under,
before. Yeah, so do you think they have what it takes to go a bit further now? Or do you see Ghana probably emulating the performance of the Nigerian Under 20 team and probably going a step further than, just first round, second round display?
as usual, you expect Nigeria to do better. On the continent, we are always there. You know, and when we go to the World Cup, we are one of the African representatives that has always done well. Whether the senior team or under 20 or under 17, Nigeria has always have good coaching background. These girls, they've always performed when they get to the world stage. So I expect them to do well this time around as well. No matter the group they are, they will qualify definitely. It's getting to the
Yeah,
finals and trying to. That's just the step they have to take now. Winning it, they've done it before. They've got to the final, but
that's
I
right.
trust. I trust in them. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget that Nigeria has also been seeded in pot two of this championship. So hopefully we should be able to like get 1 or 2 teams that are not on top of their game and probably build on that and qualify for the knockout round. But if you look at some of the teams that have qualified for this championship, we have a whole lot of teams out there who are doing very well when you talk about
And
women football. Talking about yeah, because Canada, we have
Spain,
Canada in the mix, we have Germany in the mix, we have Spain, we have USA. For me, these are top
USA.
teams when you talk about women football, and not forgetting France as well, who are doing very well in all ramification of football, be it at underage level or at a senior level. For me, that's a top team to watch out for at the next World Cup in Qatar. Although I know that we have a lot of other countries who are also doing very well, like the Belgian team, and don't forget the Brazilians. They're yet to drop points in the what's it called, the South American qualifier. So which means that they have a lot of fantastic players, in that squad. And if you look at Brazilian players, all over Europe right now, from Vinicius to Anthony that plays for Ajax, to Neymar Jr., to Richard Listen, and to Firmino that plays for Liverpool. Anderson, Liverpool goalkeeper. Oh, they are spoiled for choice. They are really actually spoiled for choice. Now, still talking football, Nigeria's under 17 girls, the Flamingos, will tackle Ethiopia in the final round of this year's FIFA under 17 Women's World Cup finals taking place in India in October. The Flamingos defeated Egypt under 17 girls 2-0 in Cairo, with top scorer Okpeyemi Ajakai opening the account in the 5th minute before Aminat Omomi Bello added the second 9 minutes later for a 6-0 aggregate win for Nigeria. The Ethiopians defeated South Africa under 17 girls 3-0 in Johannesburg. Wow, nobody saw that coming. Ethiopia going to Joburg to beat South Africa in women football. Don't you think they should be people should like turn the eyes on them right now? Because hey, I never believed that Ethiopia can beat South Africa in women football, and not in Addis Ababa, in Joburg. I didn't see that
every
coming.
every everyone is trying to develop their game now, Ladi. So
That's right.
I'm not surprised. You expect, but at the end of the day, I think they lost 1-0 to the South Africans back home. But beating them 3-0 is one of the shock of the round.
That's right.
No one expects.
The undefeated, the undefeated Flamingos are yet to concede a goal in the qualifiers. They tracked GR Congo 3-0 in Kinshasa, 5-0 in Benin City for a 6-0 aggregate scoreline before sending the divisions packing by 6 goals to 0. The first leg of the Nigeria-Ethiopia final round fixture will take place on the 21st of May, with a return leg taking place 2 weeks later. Now,
I will
this
expect
one
Nigeria
is
to win.
yeah. Hopefully, they should be able to make that dominance count. But for an Ethiopian
They
side
should
that
win.
defeated what's it called, South Africa in Joburg They shouldn't be taking handle with kid gloves. They should handle the game seriously. Yeah, that's my advice. European football governing body UEFA have banned Russia from competing in the summer's women's Euro 2022, while Russian clubs are also banned from UEFA competitions next season. UEFA has announced that Russia's bid to host the men's Euro 2028 or Euro 2032 tournament is now eligible. The sanctions come amid Russia's continued invasion of Ukraine. On Monday, UEFA announced that Portugal, who lost to Russia in the playoffs, will replace them in Euro 2022, which will take place in July. Russia's women's national team will also no longer compete in European qualification for the 2023 World Cup, while the men's side is barred from the 2022 to 2023 Nations League. The ban imposed on clubs means there will be no Russian teams in the men's and women's Champions League, Europa League, or Europa Conference League during the 2022-2023 campaign. It's not really looking good for the Russians right now.
I I think I'll support the European. I mean the UEFA on this because to be honest with you, what's the point of having Russia? Hmm? As a member of the community, when we have to have them at the World Cup with us, when they are trying to alienate another country, bombing the country almost every day. So if that's the case, if we want to use sport to try and stop them, just like they did with the apartheid in South Africa, they boycott them, they buy them from every sporting, association. They don't belong anywhere. So if they can do that to them, why not? If that's going to work, let's try it. Buy all their players from all these major competitions, you know. So back home they will know, even if they have fans, they can put pressure on an area of the government, or maybe put pressure on the government, just to pipe things down. But I support UEFA, to be honest with you. I support them on this.
I'm totally in line with you on this as well. I'm totally in line with you on this as well.